If you've been in a supermarket in the last 2 weeks or glanced in your local store, you've probably noticed displays of red hearts, flowers and boxes of chocolates. Yes, it's that time in February coming up, Valentine's Day. But don't feel under pressure. Maybe there's more to love than this. I think I was first aware of Valentine's Day as a 13 or 14-year-old, when I'd be drawn into a conspiratorial huddle of girls at school, discussing who fancied who and deciding who should be sent a Valentine's message in a handmade card. This was accompanied by a lot of giggling, and I can't remember if anything was actually sent. It seems that celebrating the day has broadened out from all this, admiring from afar and tantalising messages stuff, to an occasion for celebrating the love that has been declared between a couple, keeping the flame of romantic love burning by reaffirming it in words or gifts or special time together. That's not a bad idea, and it doesn't have to involve going to the shops. Perhaps it's helpful to have a date in the calendar that reminds us to remember to appreciate someone, like we do on birthdays. But is Valentine's Day a bit exclusive? What about those who are single? Aren't there other expressions of love, more than attraction followed by romance? You may have seen the popular film Love Actually that came out in Christmas 2003. There were lots of cameos depicting romantic love, but it also featured love shown by a sister to her brother and between a bereaved man and his stepson. In the opening sequences showing reunions of friends and families at Heathrow Airport, the voiceover says, "Love actually is everywhere." I'm making some biscuits to give to some of my neighbours on Valentine's Day. They're circular with a heart-shaped centre. Apparently, the heart is an almost universal symbol of love, but so is the circle. It has no beginning and no end. I just wanted to say in this small way to local people that I know that they're included in this thing called love. In 2020, at the height of the pandemic, it was wonderful to hear of the acts of loving service shown by people to members of their communities who were most vulnerable and isolated, and of all the amazing sacrificial love of hospital staff and others on the front line shown to strangers. It made me think that love is actually everywhere. So what is love? Is it a thing? Is it actions? And where does it come from? There has been loads written about love. Poems, songs. I wonder which are your favourites? There's also a well-known passage that's in the Bible, written by Paul to the Christian community in Corinth. This city had the goddess of beauty and love, Aphrodite, as its guardian deity, and female slaves were given as prostitutes as a religious offering. Into this setting, Paul writes, "Love is patient, love is kind, love isn't envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It doesn't insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends." That's a recent, beautiful sounding translation. This modern paraphrase is quite blunt. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others, isn't always me first, doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't keep scores of the sins of others, doesn't revel when others grovel, takes pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trusts God always looks for the best, never looks back, but keeps going to the end. Love never dies. That sounds like love in attitude and action. Love that is from the heart. The heart that stands for the very core of who we are. It is beautiful and gritty, wouldn't you say? But why can love be found everywhere? Where has this never-ending love come from, and how come it keeps alive? Christians believe that the one eternal God is love, is eternally loving, and that God made humankind to represent God. We're made to be loving by nature. As well, that the Spirit of God is everywhere, active and inspiring this kind of humble, selfless love. What about we receive this pure love and give ourselves to serve and follow the way of love?